the Katha is being told. Who is the Katha being told to? The Katha is being told by Lord Brahma to Vedvyasji, and Vedvyasji in return is telling the Katha to Sukdev Muni, his son, and Sukdev Muni by extension tells the Katha to everybody. Narad happens to be the son, Manas Putra of Lord Brahma, and so Narad Muni, he knows the Katha as well, and so too he is telling the Katha. And so this evening, it tells us after the body of the divine goddess Adi Shakti was taken by Bhagwan Vishnu and sent in different directions, what will happen? While Lord Shiva was walking everywhere with this body, there were many beings who saw not only the good ones, but the not so good ones. Are you a good being? Hello? Are you a good being? Turn to the person next to you and ask them, are you a good person? Ram? What Mama said? Sometime? What did she say? Sometime? Auntie Annie, are you a good being? You try to be, isn't it? But though you are trying to be good, and though you are trying to be the best version of yourself, turbulence will always come your way. Trouble will always come your way. Problems and obstacles will come your way. And sometimes they come in the form of human beings as well, isn't it? Shake your head. Isn't it? The demons saw that the Devi's body was lifeless. And so they sat and they started to plot and they started to plan. For they knew that Lord Shiva was in deep grief. And he was very vulnerable at that time. There are many people who take advantage of our vulnerability. Have you ever heard that word before? They know that you're in need. They know that you're dependent. So you know what? They have conditions. They want to dictate. They want to be in charge, in control. There was one being. There lived a Rakshasa, an Asura, a demon. Where can you find a demon? Hello? Where can you find a demon? Well, I just got very scared because everybody looking at me. Where can you find a demon? The bhajan says, you know what it says? It says, Name Bhagavan hu, Name Shaitan hu, हर दुनिया जो चाहे समझे मैं तो इंसान हूँ नामी भगवान हो नामी शैतान हूँ हर दुनिया जो चाहे समझे मैं तो इंसान हूँ नामे नामे means I am not नामे I am not नामे भगवान I am not नामे I am not shaitan. Who is shaitan? Who is shaitan? You still watching me? Shaitan means the devil, the negative forces. I'm not Bhagwan, God and the good forces, and I'm not the devil and the bad forces. I'm somewhere right in between. Because some days I do good and some days I do. Is that true? When you're in the yagya, don't lie. Is that true? Let me see you shake your head. Some days I say good things and some day I say some bad things. Is that true? Let me see the heads. This is how to answer. Some days I do things that will uplift those around me and some days I do things to ensure that those around me crash. Is that true? Shake your head. Shake your head. Baba, I want a right to go to the yagya. And I asked the neighbor and she said the car full. And when I peep through the window, I see she alone sitting in the car. You tried to crash. You tried to destroy. You tried to prevent that person from praying. That's what you did. And in your mind, you drive out quick, whoosh, because you don't want nobody seeing. But there is somebody always seeing. You can't hide. There is somebody always seeing. It says, Tarikasur, this demon, He was blessed with the Varadan that he was able to convince a person, a being, that what they were seeing wasn't real. This was the Varadan that he had. To convince a being that what they are seeing wasn't what they were seeing. And though you were seeing something bad, he will convince you it was something good. And though you were seeing something good, he will convince you that it was something bad. And this was the Varadan, the gift that he had. Do you know anybody who has that gift? We all have that gift. I'm going to the Yagna, you know. I want to go. Huh? You go in there, the road rough. And it have mosquito. Thank God, let me know. No mosquito. And they don't have no space to park, and they don't have no space to sit down, and they don't have nothing. Seeing is believing. Don't listen. Anytime you tread onto the pathway of righteousness and you're trying to do something good, there is somebody waiting to deter you. Huh? I see you on the TV and you have on your orni and you're looking like a real bhaktin, clapping and singing and thing. And I say, watch you now, devil gone press. And is the devil telling you you is a devil, you know? Is the devil looking at you and saying you're a devil? In your mind, all you have to say, take one to know one. Huh? That's what you have to say mentally. It takes a devil to know a devil. Tarikasur, he was blessed with his Varadan. And being blessed with his Varadan, he took advantage of this. Great advantage of this. But Tarikasur knew about the vulnerability of Lord Shiva. And he knew that Lord Shiva had no Shakti. He had no. Though I am not married, I'm sure that if the day comes, every one of the ladies in this group will stand up and fight for me. Isn't that? Excuse, how you have to shake your head? How is it? I'm sure. Your mother is your first Shakti. And that's what these ladies are. They're all mothers to me. That's what they are. Tarikasur, being blessed with his Varadan and knowing about the vulnerability, what he does something. Listen. Brahma de kar, Ashvar de kar naata, kuch kar beta, ab kar bhakti, ab bhakti vedata. Srishti, Srishti, ne kar oja, de kar charita pavitran. Jai Rudrani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namo. Clap your hands, sing with me. Jai Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe. Sing with me, everybody. Let's sing together. Jai Narayani, Jai Jai Durge, Jai Jai Ambe, Namo Namo. Tarikasur, he started to perform great tapasya. What is tapasya? Tapasya means penance. He started to perform great tapasya, great penance. What is penance? What is penance? What form does penance take? Jokingly, I said to our president, I said in my mind, I formulated a plan that when the mandir is completed, I will spend some time, at least once or twice a week, and I will sweep and I will mop the temple. And then when I came and I saw this gigantic building, I said, can I get help? Because this is going to be like penance for me alone. And I might take 2 or 3 days by myself to finish mopping and sweeping and cleaning. I don't know if you know, but behind me is the same amount of space that is in front of me, and even a little more. Did you know that? On these stairs that we are sitting on, these stairs are designed not for us to sit, but these stairs are designed for the lingams to be placed. And in this mandir, we're going to put 108 lingams that we already have. Can you imagine what the cleaning is going to be like? I don't even want to imagine. But that is going to be like our penance. For one of the ways of paving a way for our Atma to gain mukti, salvation, is by performing seva. Do you know what is seva? Seva is coming when nobody tells you. and bringing your sapi and wiping and shining the dham, the home of Bhagwan God. That's seva. Seva is taking the lota and washing it. And shining it and polishing it. See the lota in front of you? Shining? That is seva. Tarikasur, he started to perform tapasya. Penance takes any form. Baba, we had to get some help to Pasali Parsad. We are alone. How we gonna manage? If the attitude is right, the task becomes easy. Do you know this? If the attitude is right and positive, the difficult task becomes very simple. True or not? But you have to approach it with the right attitude and with positivity. How we go turn all that parsad? I can't make. I say, Swami, help me turn. He said, not me. The pot taller than me. And I'm laughing. I said, with the right attitude, and if you try, then and then alone you'll know your capabilities. Put your hand, try. And in trying, he say, you know, it does look easy. Everything appears to be easy when you're looking at it. True or not? But the minute you have to do it, it becomes a task. And that task that seems to be difficult, but you do it anyway in the name of dharma, is penance, tapasya. Is tapasya. And so, tapasya helps us to repay the debt of our karma. Do you believe that? That's why when you pin in the urni, the pin choke you in your shoulder. And you say, oh God, I choked myself. You're repaying the debt of your... Because you have to feel pain to learn. There is a proverb that says, it's only when you burn, you will... And so, Tarikasur started to pray. And who he invoked, who he was inviting, whose praises he was singing. He was singing the praises of Lord Brahma. Singing the praises of Lord Brahma appeared in front of him. He was so intelligent that when Lord Brahma appeared in front of him, he says, oh Lord Brahma, I only want you to bless me with one thing. I want you to bless me so that I'll be immortal. So that I'll live forever. Infinitely, I will exist. And Lord Brahma started to laugh. Raja or Rang. That was designed for the king and for the being who you consider to be inferior. That was considered for any being that was born. For once there is birth. The Garuda Puran says that once there is the taste of life, expect to drink from the cup of death. That is the description that the Garuda Puran tells. Once you drink of the cup of life, expect that a day will come when you must drink from the cup of death. We will all die. I will die. You will die. We will all die. Don't think about when you're dead. Learn to enjoy every moment as though it is your last. And so, praying like this, and as Lord Brahma stood in front of him, he says, oh Lord Brahma, bless me. And Lord Brahma says, nothing is permanent. Everything is temporary. Say that word with me, temporary. Say it with me. Everything is temporary. Nothing lasts forever. And so Lord Brahma saying that, what will happen? Tarikasur, he started to plan again in his mind. And listen to what he says. He's saying then, let me choose how I will die. If you have a choice to choose how you will die, what will you do? What will you say? Munilal, you have a choice to choose how you'll die. What you will choose? Me and about you, me, I want to dead. So me even thinking about that. But just in case, just in case that comes, just in case that comes, I tell Bhagwan every single day, Itna tu karna Swami, jab prane tan se nikle, Govind naam lekar, fir prane tan se nikle. I tell him every single day that I know it will come. I don't know when it will come, but at that time when it comes, may I be able to think of you, Bhagwan. May I only be able to chant your name. Jab prani kante aave, koi rog na satave, yam tras na dikave, jab prani tan se nikale. I say to him, the God of Pran says that Yama, the God of death, is scary and frightful to look at. But when he stands in front of me, may I not be fearful of him. May his very sight remind me of chanting your name. May his very sight remind me of thinking of you. This is my prayer to you, Bhagwan. Every day I pray this prayer. And I tell him, Sri Ganga ji katak ho, Jamuna katak karaj ho, mere savara nikal ho, jab prani tan se nikale. I tell him that place where I will die, wherever it will be, however it will be, whatever the situation and circumstances are, may that place be sanctified and holy like the banks of the Ganga and the banks of the Yamuna and the banks of the holy rivers, so that my soul will get mukti. And I tell him every day, you know what I tell him? Jab prani kante aave, koi rog na satave. I say that when the life force reaches to my throat and it is about to exit my body, and I'm about to allow that last breath to leave, if I'm not privileged to drink some tulsi dal or listen to the verses of the Gita, may I be so intelligent enough, O Bhagwan, to chant your name, for your name will set my soul free and guide it onto the pathway of mukti, salvation. This is my prayer. This is my prayer to you, Bhagwan. Itena tu karna Swami, jab prani tan se nikale, Govinda naam lekar, fir prani tan se nikale. Tarkasur, he says, let me choose how I will die, when I will die, and what means, what mode, what method death will come to me as. And Lord Brahma says, well then, I don't know if it is possible or impossible, but then tell me. And so let me see how I can bless you with what you are asking for. And so he says then, I want to die only by the hands of a child born from the womb of Shakti, who is wedded to Shiva. Lord Brahma is confused, for Shakti has given up her existence. And then he goes on to say, may this Shakti be born on the earth. May this force be born on the earth. And only that being will be the being to destroy me. Lord Brahma smiled. For Lord Brahma knew that this seemed to be impossible. And so thinking that it seemed to be impossible, he was quick to give. Evamastu, so shall it be. So shall it be. But down on the earth, there is a being praying. And this being is praying. And who is this being praying to? But though they were praying to Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva had isolated himself. Have you ever heard that word, isolated? In the time of COVID, we all learned that nice, beautiful, brilliant word, isolation. Have you ever heard that word before? Lord Shiva isolated himself from all the devatas and from everything and everybody. And so isolating himself, keeping alone by himself. When is the last time you spent some time with yourself, for yourself, by yourself? Hello? When is the last time? When is the last time you took a time out? Have you ever heard about a time out before? Every day I take a time out. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But there are always negative forces knocking and in the 5 minutes. Negative forces trying to come to take away that peace of mind. The phone will ring. Something will happen to try to deter you from having that 5 minutes of alone time. But having that little alone time is very important. Do you know? Having that little alone time helps you to become balanced mentally and otherwise. A little alone, quiet time. It says, Lord Shiva is in no position to listen to anybody's prayer and to grant any varadan. And so while they're praying, these beings down on the earth, what will happen? Something happens. In an illusion, something happens. Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shankar Bole. Sab devo mein dev nirali, Jai Bam Bam Bole.
Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shiva Shankar, Jai Shankar Bole. Sab devo mein dev nirali, Jai Bam Bam Bole.
While they were praying, out of nowhere, a divine fire appeared in front of them. And seeing this divine fire in front of them, they wondered what should they do. How will they treat with this? And so immediately they started offering ahutis into the fire. And they used this sacred flame to create Havan. Have you ever heard about Havan before? When is the last time you created a Havan at your home? When is the last time you allowed some smoke, the smoke of the agarbatti and the gugul and all of the nice things to enter into your home? When is the last time you did that? Long ago, the old people, you know what they will do? They will get a ghee pan. They never used to say ghee, they used to say a ghee pan. You all remember? And they will make two holes and they'll put a wire. Huh? And they'll put a, you see, Papa sneeze. You see he sneezed at that time? And inside of there they'll put a few pieces of pitch pine. You all remember pitch pine? Pitch pine is prescribed scripturally. Eh? Me ain't like that. You know why you don't like that? It blacken up my cotton. When you're dead, they had to put some cotton around your chitta by Mosquito Creek or Caroni or whatever. Bhagwan bless you with a beautiful home. And time to pray to Bhagwan, you chuck up in a corner in the back porch because you don't want smoke to block up your wall. You don't want to nasty up your curtain and you don't want to... You're dwelling in the home and you need the blessing of Bhagwan in your home. And go do it outside night, more convenient. Huh? It says... The best place to pray is everywhere. But they used to put that ghee pan and the pieces of wood in there and they'll put some gugul. You all remember? And to create smoke, they'll put some neem leaves. Some neem leaves. And they'll take that and they'll pass it through the whole house. Inside the home. Everywhere. The old people never referred to the Havan Kun as a Havan Kun, you know. You know what they called it? They call it a dhoop dani. Have you ever heard that before? That's what they refer to the Havan Kuna as, a dhoop dani. Dhoop means sweet smell, fragrant. And the dani means the pot, the dhoop dani. The pot that has the sweet fragrance, dhoop dani. And this is what they will hold and they will walk through the entire home. It tells us. As the divine flame appeared in front of them, they started pouring oblations and ahutis into the fire. And pouring oblations and ahutis into the fire, a voice came out of the fire. What if the Havan spoke to you, Bunny, this evening? What will you do? Huh? What will you do? Oh, Bunny said, well, we already had to see. Huh? What will you do? A voice spoke out of the Havan. And what will the voice say? Listen to what the voice says. The voice speaks. Jagadishwari daya karo maan, Mateshwari kripa karo maan.
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 ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। देवता की उजन तारिका देने वाले, देखोर की भीत करने वाले, देखोर सेवक का भान दिया करने, स्वर्ग मृत्यु और पाताल का लोक करने, देवता का पूजन नहीं होते स्मरण करने। तारिकासुर Now being blessed with his Vardhan and considering himself to be superior and considering even the devatas in the heavens to be inferior, Tarikasur went everywhere, and everywhere he went, he created an impression of negativity. Do you know anybody who is always negative all the time about everything? Do you know anybody? Baba, well, my life not going the way I wanted to go. Everything just going downhill, and I only see trouble, trouble, trouble. What are you doing to lift yourself out of trouble? The more you cry about it, is the more big it will get. Do you know? God helps those who first try to help them, but you have to try. Well, I tried, but things ain't really happening. What are you trying? How are you trying? What is the attitude that you're trying with? And so, creating havoc in the heavens, on the earth, and in another region, Tarikasur, his name was known everywhere. And so what will happen? Tarikasur had suspended worship of the Devatas. He suspended worship of the Devatas. We live among many Tarikasurs. Do you know? Always want to prevent people from praying and always want to prevent people from performing worship. There are some wives, they can't do puja at home because their husband will not permit them. Do you know? There are some husbands who can't perform puja at home because they're not permitted. While they want to fast and while they want to pray, everybody has a different idea of what should happen. While there are many people who wish that they could use the temples and the mosque and the church and the places of worship to worship freely, you're prevented. The mandir belongs to no one person. It belongs to? Who it belongs to? Hello? Who does it belong to? It belongs to everybody. A mandir is designed. Scripture describes what a mandir is. Scripture says a mandir is a place where everything and anything can happen. Where not only worship happens, but if there is a disaster, it is equipped to facilitate as a shelter. If there is some kind of mental or physical problem, it is a place where you go and you sit to get a peace of mind. Tarikasur creating havoc. As the flame appeared, pouring the ahuti, a voice spoke. And what will the voice say? The voice says, फिर भी देवतों का योजन का पर करने वाले अम्मी का भक्ति भाव देखो शरीर का वापस करने देखो योजन का हो गया सभी का हेमावन का पुत्री करने वाले देखो वास्तु का देवी मंदिर गया होते देवी मंदिर गया उन्होंने का करेंगे शुरूर किया और उन्होंने का ध्यान अभया करने शुरू किया करने वाले देखो तपस्या उनके दिव्य अग्नि का पहुँच करने वाले उन्होंने का यज्ञ शुरू किया देखो सभी का यज्ञ अग्नि का चरणों में बेटे का उन्होंने का मंत्र का जपत प्रसाद चरणी दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ दुर्गा भवानी माँ जय जय अम्बे माँ. The being who was performing worship, his name was Hemavan. And Hemavan and his wife Meena, both of them, they were praying. And why they were praying? Why? What was the intention of their worship? They too wanted to have a divine child. A child. This is what they're praying for, a child. A divine child. They are children and they are children. You all know the difference? A child will go to any length to show respect to his or her mother. A child will respect the wishes and the command of his or her mother all the time, not sometimes. I love my mother till death. There are no amount of words I could use to describe that. But I'm fearful of her. I'm fearful of her. And not because she has instilled fear, but because I know I have to respect her. And whether what she says to me, or how she says to me, and whether I like it or I don't like it, I follow the instruction. Matri Devo Bhava. Because I cannot preach that Mata is God, but not follow that. The teacher, the leader, leads by. Whenever my mother is present, you know where she sits? Where she sits? She sits next to me. Do you know why? She is God first. And without her, I will have no existence. And as long as she's alive, and even in her death, I owe a depth of gratitude to her. Matri Devo Bhava. She's my God. Tarikasur. He hears that there is worship taking place, and he's making his way there. You know why? To create havoc. There are some people, it is just in their genetics to create havoc. Do you know? Do you know? It is just the way they're designed to create havoc. One being says, how come you all made a murti of Durga Devi in this Navratri and you all going to submerge it and you're only supposed to do it in the next Navratri? And why? Do you know how much countless years the worship of the divine goddess has been taking place? Do you know how much years, Sintra, that the first Devi Yagna happened? Jagannath, how long? Can you remember? All I remember is I was a little child and I remember seeing a big pot of lapsi, and it's the first time I ever saw that in my whole life. That's where I learned that in the home we have a lapsi pot, and we have a parsad pot, and we have a sweet rice pot, and we have a pot for everything. That's where I learned that. As a child, I didn't go because of the puja. I couldn't understand nothing happening because the Baba only talk in Hindi. Huh? But all I know, the lapsi used to taste real good. I remember that they will make the murti. I remember that there was a special pond in which the murtis that were made will be placed. And I was a little child. But this is tradition since time memorial. Then how come all of a sudden, because one person has an opinion, it becomes wrong? How come? When is a good time to pray? When is a good time to pray? Let me change that. When is the best time to pray? Auntie Chandra, when is the best time to pray? Huh? Oh. Anything you do with purity from your heart, whether when you do it, Bhagwan is going to accept it because you're doing it with purity. Do you believe me? Shake your head. Shake your head. Because Bhagwan understands. He is a God of understanding and compassion. And it's a pity we live in a world among people who have no understanding and zero compassion. It is a pity. Tarikasur is making his way there to create havoc. It is just in the genes, the nature, the genetics of some people that anywhere they go, they take the culture of trouble with them and confusion. And so Tarikasur making his way there. Tarikasur reaches in time to hear a voice speaking out of the Havan. And the voice is saying, you know the voice saying? Listen to what the voice is saying. Amba Bhavani Jagat Amba Bhavani
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani
Amba Bhavani Jagat Amba Bhavani
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani
Amba Bhavani Jagat Ambe Ma
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma
Amba Bhavani Jagat Ambe Ma
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma
Durga Bhavani Jagat Ambe Ma
Durga Bhavani Jagadambe Ma
Durga Bhavani Jagadambe Ma,
Durga Bhavani Jagadambe Ma,
Kali Bhavani Jagadambe Ma, bolo Kali Bhavani Jagadambe Ma, Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma,
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma,
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma.
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma.
अनंत में देवी का प्रसन्न होते करने वाले देखो तुम क्या होते, देखो सभी का कुछ करने आकाशवाणी का स्मरण होते, देव वरदान का पुत्री स्वभाव करने देखो की महर होते, मेरे पुत्री का शक्ति विनती करने ओ शंकर की ध्यान करेंगे, शंकर की ध्यान करेंगे। अम्मा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी,
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
अम्मा भवानी जगदम्बा भवानी,
Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani,
अम्बा भवानी जगदम्बे माँ,
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma,
अम्बा भवानी जगदम्बे माँ।
Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma.
The voice spoke, and it was a female voice speaking, and she says, "Do not be frightened. I am Adi Shakti." She's speaking to Hemavant and Maina and all of those who are sitting around the fire, and she says, "Listen to me carefully." We live in a world where we listen but we don't hear. Is that true? We listen but we don't hear. The old people in the old days used to say it gone in one ear and it come out. Well, in 2023 something else happens. It gone through your ears and fly out your mouth. It no longer goes through one ear and come out the next ear. We listen and before you done hear, you done blurt it out. You done tell it to somebody else. Is that true? Hello? Is that? Don't lie in the again. Is that true? Shake your head. Shake your head. It says the voice spoke, and very calmly the voice is saying, prepare for me, O Hemavant and Maina. I'm coming to live in your home as your daughter. I am Adi Shakti. Prepare for me, I'm coming. But I want to tell you that I'm going to live in your care for some time. I am going to chant the name of Lord Shiva continuously until the day he comes to take me from your home. Remember this. Remember this. She's telling, for the last manifestation that she took when she was chanting the name of Lord Shiva, they thought she was. It is so easy for us to look at people and think that they're mad. Is it true or not? Hello, is it true or not? You look at somebody, the way they dress, and they say, you see where she went? How is she looking so hang up? Have you ever said that before? But do you know the circumstances? Do you know the situation? It is so easy for us to look at people and laugh at them and find their faults. But we are not perfect too. There are days when we dress too and we just dress because we have to dress and not necessarily because we care how we are looking. True or not? Is that true or not? But when somebody else does that, you find a fault with that. But when you do it, you expect everybody to look at you as though you have done it with perfection. Give what you expect to receive. Actually, give better than you expect to receive. And then the blessing will come, a blessing that you'll never even imagine for yourself. The voice says, prepare for me, I am coming, prepare for me. I will chant Lord Shiva's name continuously and until the day he comes for me. You and I, we have to chant the name of Bhagwan continuously until Bhagwan comes to us. Do you know? The bhajan says, Man tum Govinda Govinda bolo, Man tum Govinda Govinda bolo, Govinda 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 bolo, Govinda 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 bolo, Man tum Govinda Govinda bolo, Man tum Govinda Govinda, mine, oh mine, oh mine, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. The bhajan says, चित चोदा यशोदा की बात नवनीत चोरे गोपाल चित चोदा यशोदा की बात नवनीत चोरे गोपाल गोविंद हरि गोपाल हरि हे गोपी गोपी बाला गोविंद हरि गोपाल हरि हे मुरली ज्ञान लोला. It says, may my chit. Chit means, what is chit? Chit means my consciousness. May my consciousness. In order for you to be conscious of your position in the bank, they give you a chit with a number on it, isn't it? And you are very focused on this number, so that when the number calls, you stand up and you say, this is me. I am number 4. Isn't it? So too, chit means consciousness. We must always be conscious. And that's why they give you that chit, so that you'll be conscious. You're next. You're in line. Your time will come, but you must be patient. And so too in life, the time will come for all of us. We must express or portray some level of patience, because the time will come. There is a time for everything. There is a reason and a season for. There's a reason for birth, and there's a season for. Have you given thought to that? Don't think about that. But I have to remind you. Chittachora. Steal away my consciousness. Govinda Hari, Gopal Hari, Hey Gopi Go. You did this to the gopis. You did this to all the gopis. You stole away their consciousness, and they forgot all about their worldly duties. And all they were doing was chasing after you. So we beg, help us to do the same. Help us to follow the same example that they help us. We're praying to you. It says, she says, prepare for me. I'm going to chant the name of Lord Shiva until he comes for me. A day will come when Bhagwan will come for us. What will you do on that day? What will you do on that day? Budram sings this song. You know what he sings? Aaye bhi akela, jaye bhi akela, do din ki zindagi hai, do din ka me. This is like a mela, you know. This is like a show. Life is like a concert, you know. You all know? Life is like a concert. Some people up in front, some people behind, some people here, some people there, some people everywhere. Huh? Big concert happening. That's what life is. Some people dress up, some people partying, some people crying, some having a wedding, some having a funeral, some may know if they're living or they're dead. And that's how life is. This is how life is. Like a mela, a big bazaar, a big show, a big charade happening. That's what is happening. You go on the busy street and traffic up and down, and you say, you know what? I'm confused. I don't know where to go. Up, down, sideways. I don't know what is happening. And there are many of us who are like that. Because we always want to be in the bustle, but there is no focus, there is no aim. And once there is no aim, then there is no destination. And once there is no destination, then you don't know where you are headed. And anytime you don't know where you are headed, then you're in real trouble. And that's why you have the Pundit. That's why you have the Mandir. That's why you have the Yagna. That's why you have the Puja, to get some sense of direction. But you could lead the horse to the well, but you can't force the horse to. You could show the horse the best grass, but you know what? Can't force the horse to eat. And then when trouble come and the horse fall down and dead, you're feeling it, green, green grass, another need, no day. Bless the soul, God. Somebody stand up over your head and chanting Gita, Ganga, Ga, and in your whole life all you're singing is, you know what? Chalata musafir more piyare binjar. Everything is eat, drink, make merry, when dead bury. That's how we live. That's how we live. Tarikasur reaches in time to hear, and he has heard this. And hearing this, Tarikasur has made up his mind, at all cost, I will prevent her from getting married to Lord Shiva, at all cost. I never, will never, ever, never, ever again in my whole life get involved in anybody and their matchmaking. Never. I'm never, ever, ever going to get involved, especially with family, when there is turbulence and the parents say, we don't want her or him to marry that person. The 2 times I do that, I have to almost end up under my bed and sleep. Because while you support them in what they want, when anything happens other than they blame you, you get the blame. I did that once for one of my cousins. And the next week I was doing the wedding. They said, tell the girl we don't want her to get married to him. And I did that. I followed the instruction from the elders. And the next week is wedding. Well, poor girl, good thing she get married. I get hot sada roti and... Huh? Never, ever, never. Do not get involved. Tarikasur is planning to get involved in something that does not concern. Do not get involved in things that do not concern. Do not get involved in things that don't concern. I can't hear you. Do not get involved in things that don't concern. All you're saying it good. Do not get involved in things that don't concern you. Do not get involved. M-Y-O. Oh, you all know. Mind your own business. I hope somebody do a TikTok with that. Tarikasur reaches in time to hear. And as Tarikasur hears this, Tarikasur immediately douses the fire. And dosing the fire, it is as though the Devi begins to dance in the heavens. Amba Bhavani Jagat Amba Bhavani Amba Bhavani Jagat Amba Bhavani Amba Bhavani Jagat Ambe Ma 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 Durga Bhavani Jagat Ambe Ma Durga Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Durga Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Durga Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Kali Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Bolo Kali Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani Amba Bhavani Jagadamba Bhavani Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma Amba Bhavani Jagadambe Ma. Himavan and Meena, they are happy. The Devi has manifested in their home, in their kingdom. And they could see that this is the Devi herself. They could see this in her. When you look at your daughter, do you see the Devi? Baba, yeah, I see Mother Kali. Huh? Parents, mothers and fathers should never entertain disrespect from their. And if you stop it in the inception, then there is no room for growth. but you sit down and laugh. And then one day when you're in public, they look at you and they offload. And you know how you have to feel? You know how you have to feel? You entertain it. They don't really cuss me, you know. They don't really talk to me no how. And you're saying that to the Baba, you're going straight to Narak. Straight to hell. Because you're lying. You creating the demon in the child. Because you support all the wrong, bad things. In the home, the conversations are supposed to be like Madhu. You know what's Madhu? On the day of the wedding, when the groom sits in the maru, a part of the wedding ceremony is called the Madhu Parka. Have you ever heard of that? When the father of the groom holds the father of the bride, holds the groom's fingers and chanting mantras, they sprinkle honey on the baby, on the kalsa. And after doing this, the Pundit chants Madhu Parka, Madhu Parka, Madhu Parka. And the groom chants Madhu Parke, Madhu Parke, Madhu Parke. And so takes the fingers and dip it in there, and 3 times he touches the honey to the lip of the groom. But you know the groom in love. He ain't know where happening, they know. He anything they tell he to do the day of the wedding, he doing. They tell he jump off the roof, he falling down book. Because he in love. Doing the ceremony and ain't know what going on there. Because you know why? He in love. Kuch hota hai. And then after the wedding is crash, quick hey. Marriage, mash up. No clue. And the groom's father is touching the bride's father, and saying that from today onwards, son, groom, may your actions towards my daughter be like honey. May your words towards my daughter be like honey. And may your very existence be like honey, nectar-like to my daughter. And you saying, yes, Papa, yes, Papa. And the father saying to you in the mantra, or else. And you say, anything you say, Papa. Huh? Because you're in love. Love. Not just a love, you know. A love. It says, he hears everything. And Tarikasu douses the fire. And dousing the fire, the Devi takes her manifestation. They could see the Devi in her. They could know, they could feel the energy. They could feel the power. They could feel the presence of the Devi in her. And Tarikasur, he becomes inquisitive. He wants to see. He wants to destroy her. He wants to do something to prevent her from getting married to Lord. So what will he do? Tarikasur waits until she grows. And as she's a little girl, her name is Parvati, the daughter of Himavant and Mena. The Devi, her name is Parvati. But now, Tarikasur robs his body with madhu in an effort to smell sweet. He robs his body with madhu, with honey. What could make you smell sweet? They say, what kind of perfume you put on there? How you smelling so? And he says, Louis Vuitton. Huh? They say, nah, that is smelling like Louis Vuitton. That's smelling like Snow White. And he says, Snow White? What you mean? And you say, yeah, it's smelling like one of the dwarf dead. That's how it's smelling. One of the dwarf died. That's how your perfume is smelling. There's some people, their behavior permits them to smell like that. Their behavior, their attitude permits them to be like that. That though you're beautiful, your attitude tells a different story about you. It creates a different image and a different picture of who you are. Tarikasur, he is prepared at all costs to destroy the Devi. What will he do? Tomorrow evening, our Katha tells us.